Hello leaders, Justin Tucker here with Just Lead once again, presenting to you Better in 30, where we are trying to help you achieve longevity in leadership in less than 30 minutes. So if you've been rocking with me, you know that we are now in our third session of Better in 30. So session 1 was Leadership 101. So you really want to be a leader. Session 2 was how many followers you got. That's followership 101. And today for session 3, we're going to discuss the discovered leader. We're going to help you identify your leadership role. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. All right, let's go to work. Let's go to work. So the discovered leader, there's pressure for every leader to be great at every role, but anyone who is great at everything is great at nothing. Anyone who tries to do it all cannot sustain success over the long haul. Burnout happens when you take on more than you should. So here's what I want you to do. Hone in on what and how God has designed you to lead. Throughout the course of this brief session, we're going to dive into 6 potential roles. These roles can complement one another in order to create a well-oiled business, a well-oiled corporation, and or ministry. Some of these roles will have extensions, and these 6 roles are not the only roles. However, we're only going to discuss these 6 roles. But before we jump into the roles, I want to take a look at 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 4 through 6. Now, before you click off, I will not always reference and use scripture. However, I must acknowledge that most of my leadership concepts are rooted in scripture. And I try to lead according to the model of Jesus, which I believe is servant leadership. But that's another discussion for another day. Just Lead is not solely church leadership, but it is Christian leadership at its core. So every session will not contain scripture, but I believe it benefits our conversation today. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 4 through 6. There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work. I read that to say this. What I'm doing is covering 6 leadership roles in this session, but what I'm not doing is putting one above the other. I believe that each of these 6 leadership roles carry extremely high importance, and each one functions to complement the other. So let's dive in. All right, number 1, the visionary leader. This person is like the CEO. They see where we're headed and understand why we need to go there. The visionary leader has the incredibly difficult responsibility of transferring ideas. Everybody can't see what you see. You can walk into an abandoned building where there is literally nothing to see, and you see a co-working space at the very same time. You see people working in the conference room. You see people up getting coffee. You see people in meetings. You see people completing tasks. You see nothing, but you see something at the very same time. So what I'm really trying to say is, if you're a visionary leader, you're crazy. No, you just have a unique ability, and all of that is extremely important. But what you also need is the gift of communication. Just because you are creative, it does not mean you're fit to be a visionary leader, because a visionary leader has to be creative and communicative. If you cannot communicate the vision, you will be responsible for executing it alone, because no one will ever see what you see. All right, visionary leader. Under the umbrella of the visionary leader, we're still in number 1. Under the umbrella of the visionary leader, this is an extension. It's called a stand-in leader. This is the extension of the visionary leader. When the visionary leader is not in place, the stand-in leader steps in and seamlessly keeps things going until the visionary leader returns. Stand-in leaders are usually communicative, but not creative. They don't create vision, but they can communicate it until the visionary returns with more vision. So this is typically like a chief of staff or a second in command. So you have the visionary leader. Number two, the second leadership role I want to discuss is the invisible leader. This person leads without being seen and ensures that all functions are executed efficiently. So this is typically like a COO or an operations or administrative person. This is actually my role as an executive pastor. Everybody knows you're working, but nobody knows what you're working on. But we all know that if we don't let you work, something won't be in place when we need it to be. This person, this invisible leader should have an administrative gift. They are responsible for developing a plan of action to take vision from vision into manifestation. Now, that's a church word. I apologize to my corporate leader. So let me put it this way. They have to transform the visionary's idea into a plan and then transform the plan into reality. Invisible leaders have the incredibly difficult responsibility of leading what does not belong to them. They have to take control of the vision without taking over the vision. Ooh, okay. And they have to do it without adding their opinion. This person, most of the time, also needs an extension. So under the umbrella of the invisible leader is what I call the together leader. This is the planner. This is the organizer. This is the protocol and procedure creator and maintainer. They're by the book. They have their to-do list. They're a project manager. Sometimes the invisible leader is the together leader. But if not, the invisible leader needs a together leader close by. All right. We have the first one, visionary leader. Second one, together leader. Number three, we have the leader's leader. Every leader needs a leader, even visionary leaders. A leader with no leader is leading without accountability, which is a dangerous thing. Pastors should have a pastor or bishop. CEOs should have a board of directors. Presidents should have advisors. Someone has to be able to tell you no. Leadership and submission go hand in hand. One without the other is a recipe for disaster. I've adopted personally, and this could help you, I've adopted a one up, one down model. So I have someone grooming me while I groom others. I have someone checking me while I check others, because a leader with no leader is dangerous to follow, because if you're never looking up to someone, you might only be looking down on others. So here's where it gets confusing. Even a leader's leader needs a leader. Whew, that was a mouthful. Okay, an unled leader has the potential to be just as dangerous as a misled leader. I say that again. An unled leader has the potential to be just as dangerous as a misled leader. All right, number four, we're going to discuss the team leader. The team leader. This person leads a team of individuals under the leadership of the visionary leader. These are the hands and feet of the vision. Team leaders are prime examples of what we discussed in our last session. How they follow determines who will follow. If the visionary leader communicates vision, then the invisible leader creates the plan with deadlines, but the team leader doesn't buy in. The vision never becomes a reality. The visionary lights the flame and motivates us all to move toward a common goal, but the team leader has to keep the fire burning within their group. You have to be able to rally the troops. So under the umbrella of the team leader is the supportive leader, the recruiter leader, and the trainer leader. All right, the supportive leader is a without question, whatever you say, I'm going to do whatever is necessary. I got it, so that I can support the vision of my visionary leader. So whatever you say, they're going to do it. That's a supportive leader. The recruiter leader They recruit team members, and then they ensure that your group stays fit for the task at hand. And then you have the trainer leader. They recruit or they train new recruits in order to create team members. And then they train team members to eventually be leaders. This person is crucial because if the ball is dropped, or the ball is dropped because someone didn't train too well. All right. So there are instances where all of these are the same person. It all depends on your context. So the team leader can be the supportive leader. The team leader can be the recruiter leader. The team leader can be the trainer leader. It just depends on your context. All right. Number 5, the next gen leader. This person leads and trains the next generation of leaders. This is typically a facilitator, a teacher, a youth director, youth pastor. This leadership role, in my estimation, is vital. I believe this is extremely crucial. If we're not training the next generation, who is? What's the purpose of maintaining until if we're not preparing anyone to carry it on? All right, so remember I said that this role is typically a facilitator, teacher, youth director, or youth pastor. Here's an unpopular opinion. Every leader should have somewhat of a responsibility to be a next gen leader. If you are exiting leadership, but never took the time to prepare someone to enter leadership, you failed your followers, you failed your organization, and you did not do your job. No matter how many trophies, no matter how many awards you have at your home, if you walk away without leaving either a plan or a person, you have crippled your organization from maintaining their success. All right. So we have the visionary leader. We have the invisible leader. We have the leader's leader. We have the team leader. We have the next gen leader. All right. Last one, the sidelined leader. The sidelined leader. All right. Let me help you. Leadership is in you, although it does not yet flow out of you. You know you are called to leadership, but you haven't had the opportunity to lead. Let me encourage you in this session. Leadership is before you. It is not beyond you. Your gift and God's time just need to meet. So while you're on the sideline, find your lane. Find where you fit. Find out what you're good at. Embrace your lane. Do the work to become great. Read some books. And then the last one, if you don't like your lane, prepare for a new lane while staying in your lane. Yeah, don't merge into the fast lane without permission or preparation. Listen, I hope this session has helped you in your leadership journey. I need you to subscribe to this YouTube page, and I need you to share this session with every single leader you know. More sessions are coming that I believe will help you in your leadership journey. Some of them will be shorter, some of them will be longer, but they'll all be better in 30. So we're just getting started.